And then when the event was going, I was the second one, and I was sitting in the back seat, and I was extremely nervous how I will make it. And I was like, I will make it, of course. Then how? So I really imagine myself being on the stage and how I made it and how people are inspired and uploading. And I also imagine how the stress is going away from me like a waterfall. So I really imagine this going away. And then I was on the stage and I was talking, and suddenly at the end in the other room there was the opera singer who started to sing, and I was like, okay, no, concentrate, focus on yourself. And then I forgot something that I wanted to say, but I made it. And then there was a break, and then people came to me.
Before we dive into today's episode, please hit that subscribe button. Your support helps us grow and inspire more people on their journeys. Thank you. Hello, Sarka. Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the show.
Hello, Thomas. Thank you very much for having me.
So, Sarka, if there is someone who doesn't know you, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. So I am a networking enthusiast with a passion for people, Japan, and really building true connections, genuine relationships. And that's why I have a passion also for LinkedIn. And that's why I help leaders to find their voice on LinkedIn, to communicate their unique experiences, expertise on LinkedIn, to reach their goals like finding clients, candidates, building more brand awareness, or just build a strong personal brand.
Mm-hmm. And before we dive into it, I would regret not mentioning this, but this episode is quite special for me because both Sarka and me, we come from the same country. So in the first place, can you tell us, Sarka, where are you from? And maybe, of course, there is a long journey, but how did you end up where you are now?
Yes, I'm born in the Czech Republic, as you as
Yay,
well.
our favorite country.
Yes. And I always wanted to live abroad in a country where I can use foreign language because I love languages. So, and at that time, my English was not so good. So I decided for German-speaking country, I got a scholarship and I could continue my law studies in Germany, where I spent 8 years. And I met my ex-husband, so my husband and my partner, and then he became a husband, and now he's an ex-husband. And I stayed in Germany. That's why. And I knew I can't do law, but I thought I have a diploma. But then it was like, no, for us we don't have a diploma, and that's why I decided to study economics, marketing, and tourism in Germany for 3 years. It was 3 years working, 3 months working, 3 months studying. And I fell in love with the Swiss Alps, and that was why the last part of the practical part I did in Switzerland. So, and then I came in Switzerland, I stayed there. I finished my studies in Germany. I moved to Switzerland in 2007. And then I worked for 17 years in the Swiss tourism, so in tourism in Switzerland, in different parts of Switzerland, marketing, sales, till 2019 came, and I got a thought that was in my suddenly in my head, and the thought was actually, where do you see yourself in 20 years? And I couldn't answer it because at that point I was traveling a lot. I was responsible for Europe. I was a sales manager in Europe for the European countries at the company where I was working for. And I just changed the suitcase and was traveling. And then in 2021, a friend of mine who became my mentor, she told me she sees me as an entrepreneur. And my first reaction was, no. And then I started working with her, and at the same time I started developing my LinkedIn skills. because I signed up in 2012 on LinkedIn, but I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know what the platform brings me, what's the value. And that was why I was so curious. I'm so curious about people, about the stories. That was why I started developing my LinkedIn skills as well. And at the same moment, I started working with my first client, and then it continues and developed, and here I am.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you had this realization or the moment when you see yourself in 20 years. So how did you come up to such a realization, or why did you suddenly start thinking about it?
That's a good question, but I think because I was traveling really a lot, especially in 2018, 2019, and then you don't have so much time, or I didn't have so much time to reflect. And suddenly it was this thought that came into my head, and yeah, I didn't have time to think of it. And then COVID hit, and then I had more time, and I was thinking of it, and then yeah, I decided to work on myself and develop myself.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that may be a good exercise for people who are listening to ask them this question. Maybe, it will be a big moment that they will think back about.
Yes, and I also realized that I didn't have a purpose, so I didn't live in purpose. And it was what I really found then after starting working on my personal development, on my LinkedIn skills. I really found my vision. And my vision is a connected world where I help people to build genuine relationships, to get inspired from each other,
Mm-hmm.
and if it suits, to do business together. And this motivates me every day to get up and to learn and develop
Yeah,
myself and work on it. Yes.
like a new passion and a new goal.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then, because I'm very interested in geography as well, just because you mentioned that you traveled a lot and you worked in a tourism in Switzerland. So, what were maybe some places that you visited and you enjoyed the most?
Yeah, so I started working in the south of Switzerland. So it's called Valais. I really like this region because it's a region with the highest mountains in Switzerland. So it's really amazing. All the 4,000 peaks, 4,000 meters peaks are there actually. And this, yeah, it's really cool. Then I moved to St. Moritz, very famous place in Switzerland, which I enjoyed again. First, I missed the region of Valais, and then I used to live in St. Moritz and in this valley because it's really very high, the high altitude. And then when I moved away, we were to change a job, and then I missed the region of St. Moritz. But yeah, I learned another region. I moved to the Jungfrau region, also to another famous region of Interlaken. Worked there for the railway company, top of Europe. And then I moved to the central Switzerland, where I worked for Mount Pilatus, the steepest railway in the world.
Okay.
So it was quite exciting to do
Mhm.
all this work to help people into the tourism sector, to connect with the tour operator, with media journalists, and to
Yeah,
help them to learn more about Switzerland, to promote Switzerland, to bring guests to Switzerland, to these regions. So it was really exciting, but despite I haven't realized I didn't live my purpose.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just going to say that I think it's especially interesting that you are not native and you are promoting, obviously the country that you are passionate about, that you like, and you are actually not someone who's from there.
Yeah, this, because I love languages, as I said, so it was easy for me to go to Russia to speak Russian there. For example, of course, Czech uh, and or French or Italian. And also, yeah, my passion is what drives me. So I'm really passionate also about mountains, about people, different cultures. And it's also easy for me really to get to know them, to be familiarized there. And it was also the law studies that helped me to really learn a lot in a short amount of time.
And before, when you studied the law, I can imagine it's quite tough topic, I would say, or like a dedication because it takes time. So is it actually something that you were passionate about before?
Yeah, actually, at the beginning, I wanted to study languages, and then I realized, what can I do it with the studies? And then I realized, yeah, I would love to translate, but not like books, but translate as while speaking. But this is really, I mean, there are not so many people doing that. And then I realized, okay, perhaps this is not the right job in the future for me, and I can learn languages and do something else. And I was also interested in geography as well, but also in the history and how the society, how the state works. And it
Yeah.
was actually what we started with during the law studies. So we started with these basics, and yeah, then I decided, okay, I will do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. And I like that sometimes I feel like that people think that, for example, they've been working in a certain job for I don't know how many years, and that they have to continue working here because they've been there for such a long time. But I think this is a great proof that whenever you want, like, if you are not passionate about it, if you don't want to continue or you don't see yourself doing that for any more years, that you can just, make a change. And I think that you are just perfect example.
Yes, actually, I was passionate. I was still passionate. Many people, when I left my full-time job, were surprised and couldn't understand it. But I was passionate. I built a strong relationships there in Switzerland and also in abroad in other countries, in Russia, in really other countries where I worked, in Germany and so on. But I really missed the purpose. I was
Hmm.
also, I mean, I love mountains, I love hiking, skiing, so I got to know the regions like this in my free time, and I explored them, and it was amazing, and also the work with the people. But what I realized, actually, it was with the time, it was already the same. Of course, you promoted the region and you met the people, or people perhaps change, or although they were the same people, the meetings were not every time the same. But the presentation you presented almost the same. Of course, you had some news and some new products in the region, but I mean, mountain is mountain, and cable car is cable car, and hotel is hotel at the top. So with the time, it was for me like I wanted like more new challenges and more ask really myself, where is my purpose? Why
Hmm.
I am doing that? Where do I see myself in 20 years?
Yeah, yeah, I like it. And then moving on, when you decided to do this change, I know you mentioned that you spoke with the coach, but when you have such a realization, what were the steps that you did, or what would you advise someone who's got maybe similar realization or wants to do something similar? What would be like the steps to do?
Yeah, so first of all, you can manage it alone, but it takes more time. And you can really take the shortcut and to let you help, to have a mentor, to have a coach who helps you. So I find this really crucial because he gives you another perspectives. And of course, if you quit the corporate world, if you quit the security, the secure financial income, and then you become full-time entrepreneur, you have fears. You have fears about your finance, fears, perhaps doubt. You need a lot of confidence. You need a lot of skills that helps you in the entrepreneurship. Also, you have to be a really good leader as well, self-leadership and so on. So this is a really important step, and you really need to work on yourself. And if you have a mentor, not only in your niche where you are working on, but also regarding the personal development, it helps you to really realize it
It's like a
quicker.
yeah, like a acceleration
Yeah.
helps you to move forward. And how did you then find your mentor?
Yeah, actually, she's my colleague. I know her since a long time. I was exchanging with her, and then she said me this just the idea that she got for me,
Mhm.
like to become entrepreneur, and then we started working together, and I started working on my LinkedIn skills. Yeah, I booked a cooperation or like courses and also live calls with American First. For 2.5 years, I worked with them every week on my LinkedIn skills, and I still continue this in the moment with English.
Never-ending journey of constant education, learning, and improvement.
Yes, and I can say in the last years, I mean, yeah, especially the last year, and also since I am doing this since 2021, I learned so much that I have never learned in my life. Of course, I learned a lot of regarding law, regarding marketing, sales, but what I learned during my entrepreneurial journey, that's really incredible.
I think it's another great example because often or sometimes people say that once they finish university or school, my learning is finished, but it's actually, never finished. It's a never-ending journey.
Yes, and it's crucial because if you want to help people, you really need to work on yourself and you need to invest in yourself, because if you don't invest, how you want to have people that invest in yourself?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. And then when you started working together, is that when you started developing your LinkedIn more, or have you started already before? Because I know you said you started years before, but didn't really see the potential or were not using it actively.
Yes, as I said, I signed up in 2012. And I really didn't know how to use the platform, what's the value for me. And I was afraid really to show my voice, to show my experiences. And that was why I started in 2021 working with a coach in the US, and I started with videos. Actually, I directly started with the videos, and since then I am doing videos every week if the weather is nice. All my videos
Even before it was trending.
yeah, and I'm doing all the videos outside, so I'm a little bit depending on the weather, but usually I post one video per week. Yes.
Mm-hmm. No, but it's great because if we were living in such a place with such a beautiful background and scenery behind us, it's just a plus.
Yeah. It's
And what were you then filming about before? Was it like a person development stuff and the stuff related to your expertise?
I started already with LinkedIn, so it's really I started also with working with my first client, and I was sharing the experience already there. So I was already talking about LinkedIn. I had already did an online course with German, so and I watch lots of also webinars regarding to LinkedIn. So I really I had already some skills. I already understood the platform. So then I started already talking about LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. But I think that when it comes to the videos, people often are not as enthusiastic or need to step out of comfort zone because obviously filming yourself and putting it out there is not maybe that simple. So didn't you feel any resentment in the beginning, or what was it like for
Yes, it was a step from my from my comfort zone, and it was where my personal development helped me and working on my growth mindset, because you really have to think that I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing it for my audience, for my community, to help them. And then you don't have to think, oh my God, I'm recording the video and so many people are watching, or nobody's watching. So then you have just to record. Or I really imagine the person from my audience, one person standing in front of me. I'm talking to this person.
Mhm.
And of course, at the beginning, I had a script, but since the beginning, I was doing the videos in one take. So I really had,
To memorize it?
yeah, I wrote it down, or my partner was standing in front of me and I had a text. He was filming me and so on. Or just, yeah, I tried to memorize it. Of course, I needed a lot of time because it was not done with one video,
Mhm.
because I'm doing it in one take. And now I know what I want to talk about. I have the topic that I want to bring over, and I really know how I start, and then the three key takeaways, and I just start talking, and then I prefer the spontaneous talking.
Yeah, I agree. And you can after edit after, right? I mean, if there is anything.
Yeah, so I actually only edit that I really put my captions. So the
Okay.
subtitles is the only one what I'm doing because of the
Mhm.
time. So I don't have any professional lightnings. I really have to check how the weather is regarding this. I have external mic. This I have, and also a tripod. But yeah, the other stuff I just don't spend so much time with it. I found the message is really crucial. I mean, it is nice if everything looks in your brand colors and it's really professional and like you in your studio. But I'm just doing it really
No,
fast.
I've seen the videos and I think it looks amazing. If there is like a lake or mountains in the background or something like that. As I said, I think the many people can be jealous that they don't have such a background and such opportunity. So to me, it looks great. I think it's a good idea.
And it's also the connection that I have. I love nature. I love mountains, and that's why I'm doing it also outside because this is me. It's not, yeah. I'm just this person.
Yeah, it's like fits with your brand or what kind of person you are. So it makes sense. And then if we continue with your LinkedIn journey, what was it then like for you? You know, like starting there, looking for the clients, and basically building your name there.
Yeah, so I was really happy that I had a network before. I built a network before in the real life, and then I contacted them on LinkedIn. And I also started to build my community with people who I didn't know before. And it was really crucial to build the community. And I find if you start as a newcomer on LinkedIn, it's crucial to build your community first. That you have some community. It means that you really start to comment on other people's posts or just connect with people, exchange with them. What I didn't do so much was this commenting at the beginning and also DMing so much, and this is really important. So I really recommend doing this. And then
I agree.
yeah,
I remember that I didn't see, I don't know, I was like, why aren't likes or engagement rising or comments? And I was like, of course, if you're not commenting, no one is going to comment on yours.
yeah, and also in the DMs you get to know the person, you get to know build this connection on the emotional level, and then if it fits, you can continue with the business questions, and then if it fits, you can like say, okay, let's have a call to get to know each other more. But yeah,
Hmm.
so I started really connect with people who I knew before. There was already the trust, and I started working with some of them together. Then I gained also clients who I didn't know before from LinkedIn, and I just get the results. They reach their goals, and I continued. And of course, I had a strategy then also. I knew who I would like to help. What's my message that I would like to share, like my expertise, my experience, and my journey. I was actually sharing
Hmm.
my journey, and also, yeah, who is target audience and the goals. What I have is LinkedIn is.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned a few, but is there like a piece of advice or something that you would recommend others to focus on, you know, when starting out, or something that might be overlooked, like some kind of LinkedIn advice?
So first, I will say the right mindset, because if someone thinks LinkedIn isn't not for me, LinkedIn isn't working for me for my sector, then please don't start because it will not work. So you really have to believe in yourself and believe in your service, believe that LinkedIn will help you, because LinkedIn is as powerful as you use it. It's a
Hmm.
tool and it needs time, but it's worth it. And it needs a strategy, because if you don't know why are you on the platform, who you would like to talk to, and about which topics, if you only share, then it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you build a brand. It doesn't help you to reach the goals. So first is the clarity
Hmm.
about yourself, your services, your goals, your target audience, and then really starting building a strong community, because
Yeah.
nobody was born with a strong network. and it takes time to build a strong network. It doesn't matter if it's offline or online. Offline perhaps it takes a little bit longer because you have to go somewhere, meet the person,
Yeah.
perhaps they are not the right people, and so on. Of course, the connection then is perhaps a little bit quicker, but you can do it really quick on LinkedIn as well if you know how.
Mhm. Yeah, great points. I was trying to think of my beginnings. For example, when I was posting stuff that was unrelated or kind of random just for the sake of posting, and I can only agree that it's better to have a strategy because otherwise it's like a waste of time.
Yeah, and many people think also, oh, I have to start posting, and then but nobody sees it, or they don't have so much likes. But it's not about only posting. Of course, the post helps you to be seen, and people want. So in general, people want to be heard, seen, and feel well. But it's about your target audience. It's the biggest change in your thinking that you are not posting for yourself. LinkedIn isn't your diary. LinkedIn isn't a catalog of services of yourself. LinkedIn is a platform where people are to build a strong network, to get informed, inspired, motivated, and also entertained. And then if it's all suites of fits, then you can do the business. And of course, it's a business platform, but first you have to build the relationships, and people buy from people who they know, like, and trust. So if you only think, I will post, many people think like that, and there are no results. That's why, because
Yeah, of course, and I think it will sound like a cliche, but quality over quantity, because if you post every day, but it doesn't really add any value or there isn't purpose behind it, is it actually worth it? It might be better to, I don't know, post 3 times per week, which is more meaningful, which there is a goal behind it. So it's not just for the sake of, putting something out there so that you have some posts.
definitely.
Want to take your podcast to the next level? At Epic Story, we help you launch, improve, and market your podcast with expert guidance. Whether you're just starting out or refining an existing show, we've got you covered. Visit epicstory.digital and bring your epic story to life.
And from your journey, whether it's in the beginning or even now, can you maybe name some creators or people that inspire you, that you follow, that you learn from?
Mm-hmm. I started working with Shay Robotham and Jonathan Palmer, but they pivot, so they don't do anymore what they did. But I was grateful for the journey, for the 2.5 years that I worked with them together. Then I was working with some smaller or not so small creators, but it was like in a short period of time I was working in between. And then last year I was in the cohort of Lara Acosta, and I continued in her community. And currently I am working together, or I am in the community and also in the programs of Richard Moore and Yasmin Alic.
Yeah, the biggest names on LinkedIn, literally.
Yes.
So is that something that you would recommend others as well to join such communities?
Yeah, I realized the communities are so valuable, and I mean, I'm in the two of both programs and both of communities of them, but they are different, and both are so valuable. So of course, Richard's focus is on sales, DMs, and how to convert, how to get clients on LinkedIn. And the focus of Yasmin is copywriting, also how to get inbound leads through your copywriting. And also, yeah, he focused in general on marketing on LinkedIn. And I learned so much. So I will say the both are really, really amazing. And also we have lots of guest speakers that are doing master classes. In the community of Richard, it's actually every week we have a guest as in the master class, and the guests are such big personalities and so incredible. We have them also with Yasmin, not so regularly, but we have it like every month or every every 2 weeks, it depends. And he's doing also some courses, and he's also doing a lot. He gives us the news and updates from LinkedIn and so on. So yeah, they're really valuable.
I think people can just look at literally on their profiles and see how well they are doing. And I think the following and the results speak for itself. And just speaking of Richard, as of recording this now with Sarka, I haven't released it, but I recorded episode with Richard as well. And I can only confirm that he's such a nice, positive, and enthusiastic person. And when we spoke, we obviously, of course, we discussed sales. And one may think that sales is not so, now I don't want to offend anyone, but maybe not so exciting topic for people, but I can safely say that when Richard was talking about it, he got me interested as well. So when there is such a person who talks about the topic with such enthusiasm as he did, I promise that he really makes it exciting even for those people who weren't really interested before.
Yeah, and then it's the same point. You have to build the relationship first, the emotional connection first, and this is the start of everything. Of course, it's communication, verbal and non-verbal communication. That's so crucial, and that's why also, for example, I am really interested in speaking. I did a TEDx talk, and it's also where speaking is inspiration for me, and also the opportunity to inspire others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was one of my questions later on, because how did you actually get the opportunity, and tell us more about the whole speaking experience on TEDx?
Yeah, actually I applied. It was another big dream of mine. And I have to say I realized all my dreams till now. So only one small to climb one mountain because I was not feeling well. So I have to turn back with the mountain guide. This was the only one that I haven't accomplished yet.
What mountain is it?
It was the Jungfrau. So
Okay.
yeah.
But it's still on your list, I assume.
To be honest, not anymore. I am like, I'm enjoying the mountains, and it doesn't have to be over 4,000 meters. So at the beginning, I wanted to climb Matterhorn, of course, but now it's like, I realized there are other mountains that are not so high and that are wonderful, and the view is wonderful. So yeah. And yeah, another dream of mine was really to give a TEDx talk and to inspire others. So I applied. And then I was a substitute for one organization, for one TEDx event. And I was thinking, okay, nobody will say no to a TEDx talk. So then, okay. And then I got a phone call on Friday if I would like to do a TEDx talk on Thursday. And of course I said yes. And they told me, no, but you can think of it. And no, I will do it.
Now or never.
So, and then I also worked for my clients. I couldn't just say, I'm doing a TEDx talk, I can't work for you. So I worked for them. So I had like 3 days to prepare. But I worked also with my coach. She gave already 3 TEDx talks, so she helped me a lot. But yeah, then I have to prepare, and yeah, then I was there, and when we did the rehearsal, I was the only one who forgot the text.
Oh.
And then I was like,
so it was freestyle.
No, this was really the preparation, so it was not in the evening. And then I was just thinking, how will I realize it? And I was like, in myself, I was thinking, how will I manage it? And I realized, okay, I have really tried again to talk, to do another try. And I talked to the technicians. I had a big problems with the lights, and they told me, of course, you can do it, but you have to wait. You have to change all lightings. And for me, it was not a problem. I had the whole afternoon time. So I could try it again, and then I forgot again, but then I could start once more, and then I made it. And then when the event was going, I was the second one, and I was sitting in the back seat, and I was really thinking, okay, I was extremely nervous how I will make it. And I was like, I will make it, of course. Then how? So I really imagine myself being on the stage, and how I made it, and how people are inspired, and uploading. And I also imagine how the stress is going away from me like a waterfall. So I really imagined this going away. And then I was on the stage and I was talking, and suddenly at the end, in the other room, there was the opera singer who started to sing. And I was like,
Oh.
okay, no, concentrate, focus on yourself, focus on yourself. And then I forgot something that I wanted to say, but I made it. And then there was a break, and then people came to me and told me how I inspired them. And I was so surprised because I haven't accepted this. And it was like, oh my God. And then also after the event, they came to me like, oh, you are such an inspiration. You shared your story. And it's like, okay, wow, cool.
Must have been super rewarding to hear people saying this.
Yes.
And also, obviously, a huge step out of your comfort zone. I cannot imagine what it must be like speaking in front of such a big audience.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. I'm so grateful for that. Yeah.
And it's available on YouTube, right?
Yes.
I will put link to the show notes, so if people want to have a look, so that they can watch it.
Thank you.
And where did it take place? Was it in Switzerland?
Yeah, in Liechtenstein. So.
Liechtenstein.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a village. It's called Schaan.
And based on this experience, is it something that you would do again, or that you want to do again?
Yes. I really want to do more speaking to inspire more people. Also, I applied already for keynote regarding LinkedIn, growth mindset, building communities. So, yeah, I really would like to continue.
We hope something is coming, yeah, and we'll keep an eye on your profile to see some good news when it comes.
Thank you.
And with this experience, is there something that you would recommend to people? Because I'm not going to lie, probably a lot of people are afraid of public speaking, and especially when it's TEDx or event like that, when people have big expectations, it can be quite stressful. So what would be your advice, maybe how to deal with the stress, how to prepare, and how to make sure that you nail it?
It's actually what I was talking about in the talk. I was talking how I overcame my barriers of perfectionism. And actually, it's really the courage. You need to have the courage. And I'm so curious. So I always want to try new things and learn and develop myself. So it helps me immensely.
Yeah.
Then,
sorry to interrupt, but maybe if you don't want to spoil it, no any spoilers, we can leave it and people will watch it in the video.
No problem. I can talk about it.
Okay.
And yeah, what's also very, very important is facing challenges, because of course you have your fears and you have to overcome them. You have to face them. I know it's really easy to say and difficult to do, but that's how, for example, meditations help me. And it's why I'm going to the retreats of Dr. Joe Dispenza to meditate. And this helps me immensely. So yeah, just believe in yourself, face the challenge, and then every time see the gift behind the challenge, because there's every time a gift. You never fail. You only learn and develop yourself and grow. And just realize your dreams. So if the fears are strong, but your dreams are stronger than your fears, then let your dreams speak and realize your heart dreams, what you really want, what you have passion for, or perhaps what you think you can go out of your comfort zone and just inspire others, because the goal is to help others, to share your story, to share your experience, and to help them. The same with LinkedIn.
Yeah, I agree. And when I face such situations as well, of course, it's not easy to step out of your comfort zone. But what I often try to think is that if I would regret not doing that, and then it usually helps me to do that. Of course, it's still tough, but then if I think that maybe a few years or sometime after, I'll be, oh, I wish I did it back then. Then it helps me actually to give it a try. Even if you fail, at least you give it a try and to find out. But at least you don't have to regret that you didn't do that.
That's a very important point. And it's also how Dr. Joe Dispenza explains it. He says, like, embrace the unknown. And when you really enjoy this and you don't have these fears because you enjoy the present moment and you create your future now because your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings, your words are creating your life. And when it's so important how we think, what we are saying, how we feel, and this helps to realize your dreams.
Yeah. And that was actually also one of the topics that I wanted to discuss because I know that you went to Florida, right, to see Joe Dispenza. So maybe in the first place, how did you discover him? And then obviously we just spoke about him, but what made you so interested, especially about him?
Yeah, so actually it was through my mentor and Shay Robotten when I worked with her before. She went also to his retreat. And then I actually asked her because I saw he was in Basel for the progressive retreat. And she told me, yeah, if you have the chance, just go there. And I did it. And this was in November 2023, the first time. And I was so fascinated about that, and it changed a lot. And after I came home, I bought his meditations and I started to meditate with him. Actually, I tried his meditation before, but I couldn't do it. It was like not this quiet meditation because he has everything for the brain waves and the coherence with the heart and also how he speaks, the music. But after the retreat in Basel, I understood this after this weekend. And then I came back last year in May to the progressive workshop in Basel. And then I decided to go to Florida last November for a week. It was a week-long retreat, and it was just amazing. I mean,
Oh, so really worth it.
1 week meditating. I mean, the people there, also in Basel already, they are so. Everyone is in this feeling. The people are so supportive and it's so nice, and yeah, it was just amazing the experience there. And yeah, he will come back to Basel, and I will go. So I have the ticket for another progressive retreat in February.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And he also written some impressive books, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't read them, but yes.
It's a coincidence, but I did episode with Jonathan a few episodes back, and the book that he was actually just reading was the one from Joe Dispenza. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name. I remember that he said that he knows the French title, but not English one, and I don't remember. But it's just a coincidence that he mentioned it as well.
I know you told me this year.
Yeah. So it sounds like a sign.
Yes,
I should probably read him or study him or something like that.
That's also crucial to listen to your intuition. If you have this impulse, this intuition, just go for it.
Yeah, I guess. And outside of the Joe Dispenza, are there any other books that were influential to you, or you would just recommend others to read?
One of the books that really inspired me was from Phil Knight, The Shoe Dog. How he was writing about how he really founded Nike and the company and how he did it and how it was on the edge if he will be successful or fail. And this was so inspiring. And of course, it starts in Japan. in my country by heart. So because he flew to Japan, and then I was reading this book on the flight to Japan and back, and it was just
nice.
amazing.
What was it called? It sounds like Ikitsuka Tiger. Oh no, the before they renamed it to Nike.
Yes. Yeah, you said it.
I think it sounds like Ikitsuka Tiger. I don't know.
Yeah, Tiger was the one shoe, and the company still exists, by the way.
Oh yeah, was it something related to ASICs maybe? But I don't know. But anyway, because you mentioned it and Richard mentioned that book as well, I asked him the same question and he mentioned Shoe Dog. And I read it too, and I agree. It's just amazing book and very inspiring. And especially behind such a huge brand like Nike, it's just amazing. And you again mentioned it. I know you mentioned it in the beginning, but what makes you passionate about Japan?
Yeah, it's actually the culture and the people. of course the landscape, but and of course, yeah, it's totally different. But I love the culture where the people are thinking first of the others and then of
Mhm.
their own, and they want to help you every time, and they are just every time for you. I know it's also the education and it's also politeness, but a lot of them it's in their heart and in their hearts, and they really want to help you. And even though they don't speak English or they don't speak English very well, they want to help you, and they are talking to you in Japanese, and they really this really like first the other one and then me. That inspires me so much, because yeah, it's fascinating. And it's also fascinating like all these temples and shrines and this traditional Japan and then the modern Japan. It's like two worlds crushing together,
Yeah,
and this is also really incredible. And the energy I feel there is like, oh my god, incredible.
different level.
Yeah, yeah,
I haven't been yet, but would love to visit as well.
yeah, yeah. You have to.
Do you speak Japanese?
I'm learning it, so I can
Oh,
say some phrases, but of course, I mean, they have three different,
alphabets.
yeah, writing styles. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I can write and read the hiragana, katakana, so the Japanese one, and the one for the foreign words. But then there's the Chinese one, the kanji. It's really difficult, so I can't read this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am learning it.
No, it's impressive because such a difficult language or completely different one from those that you know. It's
Yeah.
really cool. And can you imagine, or do you even plan to live there in the future?
I would like to when I got retired, for example. I mean, I can go there. I can work from there. This is actually the plan. Actually, what I will do this year, for the first time, I will work from Japan for 6 weeks. And I mean, I can do this, but my partner, he's employee, so he's in Switzerland. So then he can't just say, "Oh, I move and I will work from there." That's not possible. But yeah, I mean, I like Switzerland and Europe as well. So for me, it would be nice, like half half, perhaps, or yeah. But you never know. I really want to visit the country every year. So I will see. Till now, I was 5 times there. So yeah, I will see.
Cool. Have you got favorite place or favorite city there?
Yeah, actually, it's everywhere. You can see so much, and what I really want to is to ski there in the winter time, because I love skiing so much in snow. But I mean, Tokyo is amazing, and then also the nature. If you go to the shrines and temples and the rural Japan, the landscape.
Yeah.
So, and of course, it depends in which island are you. But yeah, I love everything.
Yeah, you made me excited as well. I would love to go there too. Even I like their culture, for example, with animes and movies. Not such a big nerd, but I've seen some of you, and I agree. It's just exciting and quite exotic for someone who comes from the Europe.
Yeah. Yes.
So then, as we discussed this part of your plans for the future, what are your plans like when it comes to LinkedIn or even outside of LinkedIn, or any ambitions and goals for the future?
Yeah, I really want to inspire and to help more leaders to realize how LinkedIn can help them if they use it strategically with the right mindset and with a daily routine or routine. Yeah, I'm also passionate about this platform because it's not only about finding jobs or about sales. It's really about building a strong network. And the opportunities behind that are amazing. Yeah, this is really my big wish, to see that many people realize this, and also to inspire others through speaking, through sharing my story, my journey. Yes, so
Yeah, we will be waiting for the next TED Talks when they come.
thank you.
And I think just as you spoke about LinkedIn, about the potential of the platform and basically its networking options or whom you can find, it's also a perfect example. That's how we met actually, because we've never met before. We are from the same country, although both of us live in different countries than when we were born. And now we are recording together, so you never know whom you might meet.
Yeah, and the same with my clients. And yeah, first, I'm grateful that we met. I'm so grateful for that. And then also, for example, one of my clients, he's from the same village. He's a CEO here, but I have never met them in person. And we met on
Oh, like
LinkedIn.
from the same village you live
Yes,
in now.
yes. And we met on LinkedIn. We exchanged a little bit. He has never commented, but we wrote DMs and he told me, yeah, let's meet for lunch. Then we met for lunch. And the first thing that he told me, I know you. I was like, oh my God, he has never commented, never liked. But he was following me. He was the lurker and he knew everything about myself. And then we had lunch, we were talking and he became my client. So this also, and I mean, this is the same village. And I would never met him in person here.
And it's not like for example, city with million people. It's a village. It's a smaller.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You never know. So don't underestimate outside.
Yeah.
And as we are speaking of LinkedIn, are you actually thinking or exploring other platforms as well, or do you want to stick to LinkedIn?
Yeah, I still don't have a website, but this is also one plan, but not yet. I haven't needed it till now, but this is a little bit in the future. Yes. And I find also the YouTube very important. So this would be also my goal for the future. Yes.
Maybe some daily vlogs.
Yes, depends on the time, but yeah, I mean, I could start with the videos that I'm sharing on LinkedIn and to share them on YouTube. So I will see some live streams. I don't know yet.
Yeah. So outside of LinkedIn or even LinkedIn, can you summarize where people can find you, follow you, and get in touch?
Yeah, actually, it's really LinkedIn.
Simple answer.
I am also on Insta and on Facebook, but not so active. So really, my platform is LinkedIn. Yes.
At least people know where to go and where to look. We discussed it, but what do you like to do in your free time outside of skiing, educating yourself, or even something that we haven't discussed yet?
So I really like to take time for myself, to go in nature. I love animals. They give me so much energy. If I just can feel them, it doesn't matter if it's a dog that I see anywhere, I just want to touch them. And they're coming to me also. So that's amazing. So yeah, I really love staying in nature, and I forget everything if I see the animals and stay with them and in nature, and also doing sports like hiking, biking, skiing. I love the snow, skiing, snowboarding. So yeah, and also traveling and meeting new people and learning languages.
Yeah, I mean, if I was living in such a place as you are, it would be a shame not to do this amazing winter sports and to go to the nature, because the mountains and the whole area, it looks just beautiful.
Yeah. You have to manage your time, and then I'm working on that. Yes.
And then before we finish, is there something that you would like to add, or something that I should have asked you and did not, or something to share with?
I will say that entrepreneurship is a very inspiring, motivating journey. And I would really say like 80% of this is mindset. So it's so important how you think, how you feel, as I already said, and how you act. And very crucial is also to decide, because there are so many people, they need so many time to decide, and actually quick decisions bring you forward. So just decide and act and just do it, because if you never try, never do, you can never improve, and the whole life is actually about learning, improving, and then reaching your goals and realize your dream life.
I can only agree. I think that's then perfect point to finish with. And I want to say a big thank you, Sarka, because of course I was a bit biased because we are from the same background, so I was very excited about this. But for me also it was very inspiring. Thank you for all your support. It was a pleasure to meet you. And also, in case there is someone listening who understands and wants to learn our beautiful language, thank you, Šárko, moc jsem si to užil. Bylo to super pokecat i teď trochu v češtině, tak ti děkuju a ať se ti daří.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice talking to you, and ahoy.
Měj se hezky.
Thanks for listening to Produced by with Tommen. Check out show notes for all the links and don't forget to like, subscribe and leave your feedback. Speak soon.